Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video, we are looking at Eli Lilly and Company. It is time for another update, and it seems we have managed to extend lower prices as per our expectations since the previous video, when we regarded this white support zone as a potential buy area, and we have already created a reaction pushing back above these levels of support. Now, it is possible that a bottom is in place. We will of course need to track the relevant levels of resistance for further signals, the levels of support that would enable us to look for a confirmation, an opportunity within the smaller time frame, and if we have indeed bottomed, we would be looking to form the strongest wave to the upside in this entire push. And even once we have a top within this next wave, the strongest wave in this wave 3, we would expect that after a wave 4 correction, we would expect to extend to even higher prices in a wave 5. And before we get into the details, into the developments in this internal structure, looking for the signals that the bottom would be in place, I want to go quickly to the larger time frame to provide the context of this chart. So here we have a healthy, sustained, established uptrend. Very nice structure, providing great opportunities, and it doesn't even matter how I really choose to count this initial push to the upside. We have here a larger wave 2, and we are focusing primarily on the internal wave 3 to the upside in this area, as we would expect continued upside, as even here we would be tracking a series of 1-2 setups. We would expect this movement to the upside within the larger wave 3 to go on for quite some time now. And if you want to be a part of this journey, I would encourage you to subscribe, as we will continue to track all of these developments to provide even further opportunities, and we have actually already provided 3 separate buy opportunities on this chart. Now, as we move into the smaller time frame, we can still notice we would still be tracking a series of 1-2 setups in this development as well, right? And this would be the first structure that could work out as our wave 3. Does it need to? Absolutely not. I could also be tracking this as another wave 1 to the upside, have this as a wave 2 correction, and have the wave 3 to still be in formation, but that is not necessary, and that is why I want you to be prepared with the larger area of support. Because even though the white interpretation is my preferred scenario, where we would extend to higher prices, firstly, it is an extension, it is not necessary. And even if it does extend to higher prices, it doesn't need to be within an internal wave 3, even this as a wave 5 could actually build such a structure. Ultimately, we need to be prepared for a larger correction, but I do still find it interesting to look for an opportunity even within this white structure, as there is a good chance we will not even get to the blue area of support. Now, in this development, we have been tracking a wave 1 within a leading diagonal, and within this as a wave 2, we could already assume the pattern, the correction to be complete, and the wave 3 to already be unfolding. Now, the correction itself is quite complex, and there is a good consideration to be made that we would see a complete reset of this wave 2, but as long as we hold here the $709 level, we are still able to look for a wave 3 within this white structure to still form. And in this wave 2, we have been tracking a few different ideas. We have been providing some counts that could work out within this structure, but ultimately we have been focusing on the idea of an A, B, C structure, right? And within this wave C, we have been tracking an ending diagonal where we were still looking for extensions within the internal wave 3 to the downside. We have provided this area of resistance for a wave 4. We didn't manage to push too high into it, and it seems we have extended lower. Now, I could actually consider that the correction in the wave 4 would have extended all the way down here. It would have been a running flat correction, and that this would have been the wave 5. It might actually even make more sense to be tracking this structure, and since we did extend to lower prices, we need to track the next levels of resistance. And before we do that, I want to warn you, as I did in the previous video, that there are, once again, multiple interpretations we could be tracking this movement to the downside within, right? This wave B didn't need to have topped here, to have completed here. It is certainly a possibility within a triangle, but just as well, I could track this as a wave B top, and then extensions to lower prices would be expected, right? But even now, within this structure, I am able to track here a wave 1 down, a wave 2 up, and a wave 3 that would have a bottom in place now, right? Given this large extension to higher prices. So what would I be tracking in terms of a wave 4 correction? Well, I would be looking for the 61.8% retracement, which seems to have gotten a break but not a sustained break, and we could theoretically be looking for direct continuation to lower prices in this structure. However, even with a not so sustained break in this area, it is really no longer a preferred interpretation for me, and I would prefer to actually track some other options for this wave B top. And again, many ways we could be tracking this, but based on how strong this movement has been, I actually want to provide you the highest possible level of resistance for such a structure, in which case I would need to consider the wave B had topped here. We would have a wave 1 down here, and this entire structure would have been part of the wave 3. In such a scenario, I would need to consider that the area of resistance would go as high as the 61.8% retracement at $988. Could I have resistance even above this? Well, yes, but not within this wave C, I believe. If we really are to be building here an A, B, C structure, I would expect within the wave 4 of this wave C to not get a break above this level of resistance. And if we do get such a break, I would need to either consider that the wave 2 bottom is in place, or I could consider this to extend within a larger correction itself. Yeah, this could have been only the wave A of a larger pattern to the downside, in which case we would have higher levels of resistance to track. But currently, this is my focus. If we form here another low within the wave 5 in something along the lines of an A, B, C pattern, I would have quite clearly formed a complete count, a complete structure in this area. And there may be some other corner cases, but currently I believe this to be the best structure to focus on. So in this structure, I would like to see some levels of support broken for an indication that this wave 4 will not succeed in creating the rejection, in generating the reversal in the wave 5. And we go here in the smaller time frame where we can identify a potential leading diagonal in this structure. I would focus on the area of a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. And if we manage to build this initial 5-wave move to the upside, we would have the ability to track a high probability area of support, because the theory is telling us that after an initial 5-wave structure, we have high probabilities to form, after a 3-wave correction, at least another 5-wave move to the upside, right? If the structure is correct, this would be expected to happen. I would currently not trust this to be a 5-wave pattern, but if we form another high from the area of support of an internal wave 4 within a leading diagonal, I would be open to track such a development. And based on this interpretation, I can allow this wave 4 to retrace as deep as $918, where if we see a sustained break below this level, it would be a pretty good indication that the wave 5 in yellow would not be forming, that we would not get this 5-wave structure, and instead that the wave 4 in white had topped and the wave 5 would already be in formation. Now, of course, there is still the possibility to extend to higher prices even if we break this area of support. The market can do whatever it wants, but we are talking about probabilities here. It is much more likely that we will see this wave 5 in white if we break the area of support in yellow, and there would be no reliable opportunity to look for a larger 1-2 setup. Sure, we might even see a reset within this wave 4 in, let's say, an A, B, C pattern. That could work out, but there would be no edge given to us within such a structure, and we would be at great risk of extending to new lows in this overall wave 2. Primarily, yes, I would expect to form another low, but if we manage to push against these odds and form a 5th wave in this area, I will be looking with much more likelihood to form a larger 1-2 setup and extend to higher prices, even if we do not directly break the area of resistance at the 61.8% retracement in white. Along this region, we can also notice some structural resistance levels just above this area of resistance, and it is possible, very easily actually, that we have a wick into those regions before we get a more substantial rejection. But even here, strictly at the 61.8% retracement, is the push before this massive rejection, this massive internal wave 3 to the downside. In this entire region, we have a zone that can be expected to be significantly more difficult to actually break. Now, I cannot predict that, we will have to wait and see, but I expect some additional pressure in that area. And for now, there isn't much to add beyond this. I could, for example, theoretically look for this wave 1 to, let's say, have topped here in a wave C that didn't even manage to form new highs. I could slightly adjust the area of support higher, but it wouldn't provide too much meaningful data. It would only shrink the support levels that we would be tracking by $1, and it would really allow this wave 4 to currently have a bottom in the 50% retracement, assuming the bottom is in place, as this structure internally could have completed, but I would expect it to actually extend within one more low in the area of an A, B, C structure, and in this wave C in a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah, within this wave 4, I would prefer yet another low before looking for the reversal to higher prices. But keep in mind that this is within an extremely small time frame. This is a microstructure, and those are generally much less reliable. And for now, these are the levels, this is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and if you enjoy our content and want to support us directly, check out our channel membership. And as a thank you for any of these actions, I would like to invite you to sign up to our channel newsletter, where you get access to our monthly top picks, where we identify for you high quality structures. And by the way, if you still join by the end of this day, you will get April's watch list. Otherwise, you will have to wait until May's watch list to get our latest top picks. But for now, I wish you a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.